Welcome to Two Old Goats and Some Chicks Homestead. Today I'm working on this bed that has some corn that didn't produce. I went ahead and pulled the corn so you didn't have to watch that. But I'm going to amend this soil. I'd like to plant some okra in here. I don't particularly care for okra, but the family does, so I'm going to plant some burgundy okra in here. I know it's a little late, but we're going to see how well it does. I'm going to put some cottonseed compost, some perlite, and some nutrients. The nutrients I will be using will be Azomite, using some calcium, which for that I'll be using some dry milk, and I'll be using some magnesium sulfate, Epsom salt, and some bone meal. So we're going to see how well this bed does. I amend all the beds that way. Sometimes I don't get to add as much compost as I'd like because we just don't have the compost. But this is what we're going to do. I'll show you what it looks like. I don't measure anything. I just add it till I think it looks okay. So here we go. I'll show you what we've got. This is the perlite and compost mixture. That does seem to be a little heavy with the perlite, but I don't have a whole lot of perlite in this bed, so I think it'll be okay. It's rained last night, so it's a little damp. So we're going to add in some of this. And we're going to go around the cacao squash because I'm leaving that in here till I get a harvest from it. Cross my fingers, I get a harvest. The bugs got in this plant the last time, so we're going to see. So I just do that. No big deal, nothing special, nothing fancy. And again, I don't measure my nutrients, I just add them. And like I said, it's the Azomite, magnesium sulfate, calcium, powdered milk, and bone meal. So I'm just going to spread it, and it's very dusty, so be careful. A little more, just for good measure. And my tool, use this thing every day, and we're just going to mix it in. And if you want to, I can leave a link in the description below to the nutrients that I use. You can get them through Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description to the nutrients that I use, and they go a long ways. I know it's kind of expensive, but we are talking about nutrients, and we need a really nice amount of nutrients because all the soil is depleted. Here we live on an old pine tree farm, and it's very, very acidic. It took me a while, probably a few years, to get the garden to actually produce something that looked good. It was always so scrawny and bad looking. So it's taken me a couple of years to get the garden looking this good. But it is what it is. And it's a struggle. Life's a struggle. It's a learning lesson. It is what you make of it. So this year I feel really blessed to have such a nice looking garden. I also wanted to mention that I'm really enjoying the square foot gardening because when I pulled this bed up, I only had a handful of weeds, and I haven't weeded it at all since I started it. So, less work, I'm all for it. So that's all we do. And that's how I amend my soil. I do use the cottonseed compost because it is free for me. I can go to my local mill and get it by the truckload. I did it in the spring. I was only able to get one truckload, so I'm running very low on my compost. But this fall, I've already contacted them and I let them know that I will be coming again in the fall. Thankfully, I know the manager / owner. So, yeah, it's nice to be able to get some compost for free. So check in your area and see if you have a composting situation that you can go and pick up. I know there are some areas that have public compost where they compost, and then, you take your stuff to compost, and then you can go and pick up compost when it's done. I'm not sure what they're called. But I do know that some places have it. We do not have one here in this small town. Not a lot of people are gardening the farms, but they're not self-sustainable farms. They're just more for production. So, but yeah, that's it. Not a whole lot to it. I will plant the okra in here and give you an update to let you see how well it does. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for joining me at 2 Oak Oats and some Chicks Homestead. I hope you have an amazing day and stay cool and hydrated. It's already 10 o'clock here, and I am profusely sweating. So, I'm going to get this okra planted, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.